awesome time there, which is awesome. So that all was launched in 2010, and then in 2014, Target Stroke Phase 2 was launched. And that was when we included the Elite and the Elite Plus. So the 60 minutes, 75% of the time, or the Elite Plus is 60 minutes, 75%, and 45 minutes for at least 50% of the patients. So that all launched October of 2014. So just for the heck of it, I decided I wanted to kind of look and see, as a state, how each of these states are doing, how each of you are doing. So it's just showing the progression. So I started these in 2008, and of course there's been a lot of hospitals that have joined since then. So, you know, the numbers, you know, take them for what they are. But at the time, these are the numbers that had occurred. So for Arkansas, you can see that there was a dip in time. They started out pretty good, 2008, and then they dipped down in 2011. But as you know, then we really started focusing on it in 2010, and so things started going back up. In 2014, then that's when we did the Target Stroke 2, the Phase 2, and now Arkansas is running right at about 71.2% for 2018. So you can see there are some dips, and those are the things you can kind of take a look at with actually any of your measures. You can run any measure over time just to see how you were doing, how you improved, and this might be things that your staff may really be interested in seeing. If you can show them the improvements that you've made with your program, with their hard work, then they become more dedicated, and they really do want to help you. So just a comment there. So anyway, that's Arkansas. The other, on the right side box, it is the IBTPA for Colorado. And Colorado has run pretty, well, they actually also improved quite a bit, 76.5% in 2008. And now it's at 93.5% in 2018. And again, 2018 data is not complete, so it may be higher than that. So there is like almost a 30%. No, not really, 15% increase, which is really, really good, you know, again. And the sites change. Like I said, these numbers, you got to take them for what they are. It is what is in the PMT. So the next one here is New Mexico. And New Mexico does not have as many hospitals in there, so it's a much smaller N than the other hospitals, which, as you know, really does affect your percentage, if the smaller N number. But they actually started at 85.7, are now at 78.8. But again, this is early, so that data probably will change as well. But again, taking a look at this, showing this to your staff, maybe talking with your ED physicians, your ED staff, and say, hey, you know, a few years ago we were doing really well. What's going on here? Now I see we're going back up. But, you know, use this information to share what you're doing in your program, because you're doing some fabulous work. And then we have Oklahoma next, and Oklahoma started at 59.6% in 2008 that were able to achieve the Arrive by 2, Treat by 3 measure, and now we're at 91.3%. So again, that's a huge, huge increase. Congratulations. Then we have Texas, and Texas started at 64.1%. 2008, you know, and then 2010, and then 2014 was Phase 2, and now Texas is at 87.6, although they were at 90.3 last year. Again, this is not complete data, so that number will definitely change, and we may just look at that again at the on our next quality exchange to see how much it changed. We'll see how it looks. Wyoming, unfortunately, I could not find a state report for Wyoming. But for reports, just as you kind of know, this is something I just want to kind of throw out there to let you know. If you have six hospitals or more that you want to benchmark against, and everybody agrees, say you have 6 hospitals in your system or more, then you can ask us to set up a benchmarking group for you so that you can benchmark yourself against all your other hospitals. So there are different benchmark groups we can set up if there's things that you really are interested in comparing yourself with, benchmarking against, then we can set those up for you. So contact your QSI director if you're interested in adding anything there, and we are happy to help you with those. Questions, comments? Okay. So AFib, the anticoagulation of AFib flutter measure, stroke 3, SPK3, actually has improved a lot. But just as an FYI, we do have an AFib module. You know, as you know, a lot of our strokes are cryptogenic. I think it's about 30% or so are cryptogenic, and oftentimes it may be related to AFib that is not being able to be caught for whatever reason. So there is an AFib module, and the other thing to know about that module is if you have stroke and you add AFib for whatever reason, with either stroke or actually the heart failure module as well, then you can pre-populate a lot of fields by just at the bottom of your stroke measure, there's a little box and you can just tell them to pre-populate your other modules and it will do that. So if you need more information or are interested, again, reach out to your director. We can show you exactly what fields those are, which may save some extraction time for your cardiac counterparts or for yourself. I'm not sure if you're aware, but recently the 2018 stroke mortality reports have been published. They're for each of your own hospitals. It compares your hospital to the nation, and there's several reports in there. So if you are unaware of that, you can find that when you go to your reports. Go to your Get With The Guidelines stroke, go to reports, and right here, stroke mortality report. That's usually published once a year, I think. And it's specifically for your hospital. So you can take a look at that and see how you are rating mortality-wise against other hospitals nationally, and I can't remember what all for sure is included in there. Then we have, oh darn, I put them in the wrong order. I'm going to skip one. Okay. So 2019 acute stroke ready performance measures are now available. But acute stroke measures are for the inpatient, the IV TPA given in the ED if they qualify. Then the next measure is antithrombotic therapy administered by the end of day 2 for inpatient. The third inpatient measure for acute stroke ready would be discharge on an antithrombotic therapy. And that's for those patients that typically don't have such a bad stroke or maybe don't don't fit the criteria for TPA, excuse me. Sorry, don't fit criteria for TPA, but you can still follow your inpatients to make sure that they're getting the care that the evidence-based care. Then there's also outpatient measures. So it's the door to transfer to another hospital. So those are broken down by hemorrhagic stroke. So it's kind of door in, door out kind of information. Time to transfer. The ischemic stroke drip and shift patients, and then 2D is the, actually it's door to transfer is 2A, to another hospital. 2B is hemorrhagic stroke. 2C is ischemic stroke, drip and shift. And 2D is ischemic stroke with no IV TPA that's been given prior to transfer. So all of those measures are now on the Joint Commission website. If you want to, there's a link there that you can go and take a look at those. And also Get With The Guidelines now has an acute stroke ready layer. So if you are interested in obtaining that acute stroke, if you're acute stroke certified or considering it, and you want to add that layer, then you just send an email to the impresario, to your IQVIA contact, and they can add that layer for you for no additional cost so that you can monitor your acute stroke ready measures. Then we also have the primary stroke certification measures for 2019, and I think we've discussed this a couple times, but there are the 2 measures. The door in, door out times are going to be monitored this year, and again, those are broken down into several. So I think our next WebEx will explain this a lot better, because it seems like it's going to be kind of complicated here, but we can maybe get some more information about how that's all going to play out. And then the comprehensive stroke 1, the NIH stroke score performed for ischemic stroke will also be added as a stroke measure for 2019. So those will all be part of our updates for the January 30th update. With the Get With the Guidelines, those should be in there. So moving on to professional education, unless questions, comments, anything in the chat box, Michelle?
Not so far, but we're just taking it all in.
All right, cool, thank you. Okay, so many of you were able to attend the Stroke Boot Camp series, but if you were not able to attend, you still can go in and get your CEs. So there's a flyer here where you can register. Oh, I don't think I put the link on there either, but you can always go to the QSI. No, you can't, not that one. Never mind. I will get that link added to this slide before it is sent out to you. But there's 14 different ones. You can pick and choose what you want to listen to, what you don't want to listen to. If you want to listen to it more than once, you can. If you go through our heart.org SWA quality site, then you can look at these, review those again if you've seen them before, but you do not get credit if you go through that way. You have to go through our Enduring through the professional education place in order to claim your CEs. So that's why you would register. If you have not already watched one of the modules that you want to see or whatever, and you want CE credit for it, then you can go in through this link to watch those and claim your CE credit. So it was excellent. It was very well received and a lot of very positive comments. And the series was actually presented by many of your colleagues that you either work with or that are within our Southwest affiliate who are stroke coordinators and have a lot of experience. So please feel free to check those out. They're excellent. Then we're going to have, there's been some new cholesterol guidelines that were recently released. So there's an update, and this is actually check, change, control cholesterol, which is more for the outpatient or the clinic. But if you're interested in learning more about the guidelines themselves, then feel free to register and attend that webinar. And that is scheduled for February 6th at noon Central Time. And then coming up, we have, I don't know if you know, but for the Southwest affiliate, we do have an executive stroke committee that's made up of many of the neurologists in our area, nurses, some C-suite personnel, therapy. There's several people represented on there. And we meet on a quarterly basis as well, looking for things that we can do to help continue to improve stroke care in our Southwest affiliate. Last year we did a stroke series, educational series, again, WebEx kind of thing, and we're going to do that again this year. So the first one will be scheduled February 27th at noon, and it's preparing your hospital for door-in, door-out measurement and improving cath lab workflow. So with this new measure, you may be very interested in signing up and attending that. And you can sign up for these courses through the heart.org/SWA quality website. And that's where you can go in, click on the link, and it will take you into the registration. There will be another one on March 27th that will be triage of the acute stroke using perfusion processing for thrombectomy selection, rapid, and other options. And then on the April 24th, we're going to have innovation in post-stroke rehab. And May 22nd, we'll have bedside stroke quality improvement. And again, these will be presented by your colleagues and your physicians in the Southwest affiliate. So if you have time and you have the opportunity, then please try to join those. And you can, right here is the website, so you can go right in there and you can sign up for them, register for them. And then I just wanted to make a quick pitch about the Comprehensive Cardiovascular Center certification. So this is probably more going to be related to your cardiac colleagues, but just so that you're aware that beginning January 1, the American Heart and Joint Commission has joined together for this Comprehensive Cardiovascular Center certification. So there are several hospitals that are interested. Be the first one in your state or your city to achieve this certification. Again, you'll get lots of help from our national center, from your directors. If anybody's interested in that, if you want to pass it on to your cardiac colleagues, or even if you want to do it as part of the stroke. But just so you know that that is available, and I believe there's also going to be a heart attack certification and maybe another one. So you'll be getting more information on the additional certification programs that we are currently working on. So that's all I have to share with you. We have like 5 minutes, not a lot of time. Sorry I took all the time, but if you have questions, comments, concerns, anything you would like to discuss, please put them in the chat box, *6 to unmute. We're happy to answer your questions. I have a very quiet group. Well, if there are no questions or comments, then I would like to thank you all for joining this exchange. Please continue to join us. If you have topics you want covered, send those to me.
So sorry, we do have one. We wanted to see if you could put the slide up about the cholesterol one more time.
Oh, certainly. There you go. Can you stick that one in the chat box too, Michelle, so that they can register if they'd like?
Yes, I will.
Thank you so much. Any other questions, comments? Okay, within a week or so, you will get a copy of these slides. In the meantime, I hope to see some of you at the conference. If you are there, please come up and introduce yourself to me. Come to the reception. I would really like to meet anybody that's on this call that's going to be there in person. So thank you so much for your time, and I hope you found this information helpful. Have a great day.